In this question, we're going to find the values of sine 2 theta, cos 2 theta, and tan 2 theta given certain information about theta. Well, we start by knowing that tan theta is equal to negative 24 over 7, and theta is in the fourth quadrant. Well, because theta is in the fourth quadrant, we know it looks like this. Tan theta always is equal to y over x. So in this case, we can say y over x equals negative 24 over 7. Just be careful, though, of necessarily assuming y is negative 24 and x is 7. That might be the case, it might not. We actually have to check when we're given tan, the value for tan theta. We got to check if that coincides with our terminal arm. And in fact, it does. In quadrant 4, the y's are negative and the x's are positive, so it works. Just to show you what I mean, had this been in quadrant 2, and I'd have said y over x equals negative 24 over 7, I'd have had to say that y is positive and x is negative. But in this case, we've got a negative y, a positive x, and we can just continue on from there. Well, we know that r squared is equal to x squared plus y squared. So that's going to equal 7 squared plus negative 24 quantity squared, which is 49 plus 576, which equals 625. R has to be positive, so r is equal to 25. Now, that means that the sine of theta is going to equal y over r, which in this case will be negative 24 over 25. And the cos of theta will be x over r, which in this case will be 7 over 25. Now that we know the sine of theta and the cos of theta, we can determine the sine of 2 theta. The sine of 2 theta is equal to 2 sine theta cos theta. And we know that the sine of theta is negative 24 over 25. And we know that the cos of theta is 7 over 25. So we want to multiply the numerators. 2 times negative 24 times 7, we get negative 336. And multiply our denominators, we get 625. So that is what the sine of 2 theta is equal to. And that's one of the things that was asked for in the question. Now, we also want to find out what's the cos of 2 theta equal to. Well, the cos of 2 theta is going to equal cos squared theta minus sine squared theta. Okay. Well, on the previous slide, we found that the cos of theta is 7 over 25. So we can say that this is equal to cos theta quantity squared minus sine theta quantity squared, which will be, as we said a moment ago, 7 over 25 quantity squared minus negative 24 over 25 quantity squared. Well, 7 over 25 quantity squared is 49 over 625. Negative 24 over 25 quantity squared is 576 over 625. And subtracting those, we get negative 527 over 625. And so that's what the cos of 2 theta is equal to. And finally, we can now figure out what the tan of 2 theta equals. We made note of what the sine of 2 theta and cos of 2 theta equal. So the tan of 2 theta is going to be sine 2 theta over cos 2 theta. That's equal to negative 336 over 625 over negative 527 over 625. We can invert and multiply. So we have negative 336 over 625 times 625 over negative 527. So our 625 factors cancel out, and we've got negative 336 over negative 527, and of course that equals just plain old 336 over 527. No need to have a negative numerator and denominator.